Thank you for joining me here today, and what a beautiful day it is, and welcome. And Father Mike, I come in Christian love to you and to all the viewers. And I was called over 20 years ago to consecrate the Eucharist within the Catholic Church. And I had to become a theologian to try and understand why it was that God was calling me to consecrate the Eucharist, and the Church's teachings were prohibiting it. Today I'm talking about a clip where you mentioned Mary, where you were talking about Mary, and you said that Mary was not a part of God, and that Mary was indeed not even a smidgen of God. I must say, when I heard these words from your lips, that I was shocked. I was quite taken aback. To say such words about Mary, and to speak about Mary within this clip as purely a human being, a woman disciple and a mother, was quite disturbing to me. And may I say to you from the very beginning here that Mary has revealed to me that she is not happy, that the exalted titles within her prophetic role with Jesus in the salvation of all humankind is not being as exalted as she would like. And obviously here, Father Mike, she is not happy that you are referring to her in merely human terms of a woman, a mother, and a woman disciple. Yes, of course, she was those things, but she was so much more. And it shocked me, Father Mike, that you would say that Mary was not a part of God, nor was she even a mere smidgen of God. I thought, how can he say such things? How can he talk about Mary as a mum? Yes, Mary is a mum, but she's so much more. That is why so many go to her and pray to her as a mediator to Jesus and to God. She holds those titles of mediator and advocator within the church. Father Mike, when you are answering people's questions, you cannot just give people questions that you feel will make them happy, that you feel you, to me, do not want to appear to be unpopular in what you say. But let us have a look, because Mary, her figure is pivotal and always will be in Christianity. You say that you love the Catechism of the Catholic Church, and yet, Father Mike, you talk about Mary in terms of humanness, but do not mention her very exalted role within the Catholic tradition. Let us have a look at the Catechism of the Catholic Church and what indeed it does say about Mary. And you would know these things, Father Mike. You would know them. 721. Mary, the all-holy, ever Virgin, Mother of God, is the masterwork of the mission. For the first time in the plan of salvation, and because his Spirit had prepared her, the Father found the dwelling place where his Son and his Spirit could dwell among men. Father Mike, that does not sound like a human mother's role. This sounds like the words that are being used here, holy, ever virgin. The plan of salvation. God finding a dwelling place. 725. Finally, through Mary, the Holy Spirit begins to bring all humankind, the objects of God's merciful love, into communion with Christ. It talks here about Mary with the Holy Spirit bringing all humankind into communion with Christ. How much closer can that be to someone being divine, of divineness? There's no other human woman that I know, Father Mike, that can do that. 971. The Church's devotion to the Blessed Virgin Mary is intrinsic to Christian worship. Father Mike, are we not talking here of Mary, the ever blessed Virgin Mary, as indeed being a smidgen of God? If she, as they say here, is intrinsic to Christian worship. Seems pretty clear to me. Father Mike, people love Mary. They love her. They know that she was a human woman, mother and disciple. But they also know through the Catholics' teachings that she was far, far more than that. And she is and always will be a part of God because she is Jesus's mother. If they're going to call Jesus God, then they have to call Mary the Mother of God. But let's really give exalted title and meaning to that and not just let it slip off our tongue like we're talking about a human role there. No, we can't do that. If we just imagine just for a moment, Father Mike, and let us go to the beginnings of where it all began and think about Mary's role. Let's take Mary out of the equation. Let's take Mary out of the equation. And what is left? God, the Holy Spirit, and Jesus. Where is the birth of the Messiah? Where is the plan of salvation without Mary? Mary holds a prophetic role within the beginnings of Christianity. But without Mary, there's no Jesus. Mary is more than a human mother, a human woman, and a human disciple. She is of divinity. You see, it's all part of God's plan. You take away a woman's image, and the eternal salvation of all humankind could never have come about. So, Father Mike, when you're speaking about Mary's role and trying to simplify it to people, you simply can't. It's sacrilegious. Because God wanted Mary to be part of the plan of salvation. I would say that Mary is very much a smidgen of God. Very much. It does not mean that we worship Mary more than God, more than Jesus. No. But it does not mean that when we are speaking of Mary, that when we use the human titles, we also use her exalted, divine, prophetic titles as well. Because otherwise we're reducing her to a mere human woman. No. I don't know of any other human woman, I mean, you may, Father Mike, who's ever been called to give birth to the Messiah. I don't know of any human woman that has ever been a virgin and given birth to a child. I do not know of any human woman that is sinless. I do not know of any human woman that has been taken up body and soul into heaven and sits at the right hand of Jesus. Do I have to go on? Please, Father Mike, do not treat Mary as simply a human being, because what happened to her was miraculous. It was beyond our understanding, and it was God's plan for her to become part of it, like our blessed, beautiful Mary has. Father Mike, treat Mary, our beloved Queen, with the respect that she is owed, not only as a mother and woman disciple, but as, we must truly say, the divine Mother of God. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.